If you're trying to figure out whether 2026 is going to be a good year to buy a home or refinance based on where mortgage rates are going, you're not alone. And if you're probably tired of hearing 10 different answers, one headline says rates are about to fall, another says they'll stay high for years. And in the middle of all that noise, you're just trying to answer one simple question. What should I actually plan for so I don't make a move that I regret later? In this video, I'm going to give you a simple way to think about 2026 mortgage rates, 3 real-world scenarios you should prepare for, and how to build a game plan that protects you whether rates improve, stay flat, or even bump up a little bit. And no, I'm not going to pretend I have a crystal ball. I'm going to show you how smart buyers and homeowners make decisions without needing one. Now, if you do me a quick favor before we dive into all this, go ahead and hit the like button. It really helps reach people who are trying to make a smart move, not just chase a headline. I appreciate it. Okay, here's the mindset shift that will save you a lot of stress in 2026. Stop asking, what are rates going to be? Start asking, what payment range can I comfortably live with? And what needs to be true for that to happen? Because your life is built around a monthly payment, guys, not a headline rate. If you're renting right now, you already know what your monthly number feels like. And you already know what could realistically stretch to for a home that you own and that you love. That's the starting point. So instead of building a plan around one perfect interest rate, we build it around a payment band, a range. For example, maybe you look at your budget and say, if my total housing payment stays around this range, I'm good. Now we can work backwards. If rates are higher, that might put you in this price range. If rates ease a bit, it might bump you into this other range. Same budget, different scenario. And you don't have to guess. Now I'm going to pause right here and introduce myself just a little bit, because context does matter. My name is Emmett Dempsey. I'm a mortgage broker and owner of Treasure Coast Mortgage here in Port St Lucie, Florida. And I've been helping families with their mortgages since 2007. So I've lived through a lot of rate cycles, guys, up and down. I've seen times when rates felt high and people froze. And then a few years later, those same people wish they had bought when they had the chance. So what I'm going to share with you is what actually works over those rate cycles, not a prediction of the perfect number for 2026. Now, if you want help building a simple plan around your payment comfort zone, I'll put a link in the description where you can book a quick call with me and my team. Okay, so we'll stress test your numbers across the few scenarios so you're not guessing. All right, now let's talk about 3 scenarios. Because the mistake most people make is they pick one prediction and bet everything on it. I'd rather you prepare for 3 possibilities, and no matter which one wins or shows up in 2026. Okay? So scenario 1, rates improve a little bit. Scenario 2, rates bump around where they are now in a range. And scenario 3, rates stay firm or even go up a little bit. Okay? So let's go one by one. All right. Scenario 1, rates improve a little bit. So here's a mistake that I see. People assume that automatically makes buying easy. In real life, what often happens is demand picks up. More buyers jump back in and competition increases. And in a lot of areas, that pushes prices up or brings back those bidding wars that we love so much during COVID. So yes, you might get a slightly better rate, but you also may pay more for the house. And that can push your payment right back to where it would have been. Okay, so the buyers who win in this scenario are not the ones waiting for the perfect rate. Okay? They're the ones who are ready. They're pre-approved with me already. They have their documents ready. They already know their payment band that we talked about earlier. They already know their price range based on that payment band. And when the opportunity shows up, they can move fast without panic. Okay, all right, scenario 2. Rates move sideways. They don't drop much. They don't spike. They just kind of hang out to where they're at. Okay? This is where a lot of people get stuck in indecision, because it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel bad. It just feels stuck. Okay? But this can actually be a really strong window for prepared buyers, because a lot of the casual buyers have stepped aside. Sellers get more realistic. They start offering concessions, and negotiations get easier. In this scenario, sometimes the better win is not chasing a lower rate. It's negotiating a better deal. Price reductions, seller credits, closing cost help, a better contract, because a lower purchase price or a seller credit can impact your real life faster than waiting 6 months hoping a rates dip 0.25%. Okay, scenario 3. Rates stay firm or even then go up a little bit. This is the one that scares people the most. So let's talk about how to handle it instead of hoping it doesn't happen. Okay? In this scenario, your priority is protecting your monthly payment and your overall financial plan. If you're buying, that might mean one of a few things. It might mean adjusting the price range, being more strategic about what neighborhoods you want to live in, consider different property types, or even taking a little time to reduce monthly debt so the mortgage payment fits without stress. And if you're a homeowner thinking about refinancing, this is important. And not every refinance is about lowering the rate. Sometimes the win is stability, or removing risk, or restructuring your overall debt in a way that gives you breathing room, if the math makes sense. The key thread through all three scenarios is this: you make your best decision based on the real numbers today. Then you keep a plan in your back pocket for what you'll do if the market improves later. This is how a lot of my clients approach it. If the payment works today and the home fits your life, we structure the loan in a way that's safe and sustainable. Then we watch the market. If rates get more favorable down the road and a refinance actually benefits you after cost, we run the numbers and then we make that move when it's real and not when it's hype. Now here's a practical step you can take right now without committing to anything. Build a simple 2026 plan around your budget. That means look at your income, your debts, your target payment, and then stress test it across those three scenarios. And when people do this, one of two things usually happens. They either realize, wow, I'm closer than I thought. If I can move sooner if I wanted to, and I want to get out of here, okay? Or they see exactly what needs to happen to get ready. Maybe it's cleaning up a couple accounts. Maybe it's building a little bit more cushion. Maybe it's adjusting expectations on your purchase price. Either way, you win. Because you're out of the guessing game and into a plan. So here's the takeaway. 2026 is not about finding the perfect interest rate. It's about making sure the home, the payment, and the timing make sense for your life, with a smart backup plan for whatever the market does next. If you want that clarity, the next step is pretty simple. There's a link in the description to go and book time on my calendar to have a strategy call. We'll walk through your numbers, map out those three scenarios, and help you decide if it makes sense to buy, refinance, or just prepare for a little later. Don't let confusing headlines be the thing that keeps you stuck. Go book the call and we'll build your 2026 mortgage plan together. If this is helpful, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.